Yeah, yeah. This is Lady Mogul Talk, talking about black excellence. Ladies building legacies, fostering communities. There'll be topics to grow with dynamic heroes. Time to secure the bag, elevate your goals, yeah. If you gotta grind, go ahead and take some time. Free your mind, leave your worries behind. Expand your possibilities while learning new strategies. Every time with Avery, knowledge will be guaranteed on Lady Mogul Talk.
Welcome back to another segment of Lady Mogul Talk. Today we have the creator of CoCoBella Natural, a hair care product line founded by Renae Williams that caters especially to those with textured hair. Renae big chopped in 2012, then developed the brand after experiencing illness and hair loss due to the presence of chemicals in hair products. Named an accidental influencer, Renae, with her exuberant personality and passion for promoting beauty from the inside out, became a prominent voice in the natural hair community, encouraging women to accept love and care for their kinky curly tresses. The three-step QUENCH complete curl care system, Renae wrote an ebook called Keep It Simple Sis, The Journey to Healthy Hair Care and Healthy Self-Esteem, which is a memoir detailing her big chop and journey to self-discovery. Also a savvy businesswoman and solopreneur, Renae has shipped to all 50 continental United States and amassed a loyal customer base supporting product launches that often sell out in hours. And today, Renae operates CoCoBella Natural full-time and endeavors to expand the brand into a larger product market in 2024. So kudos to her and welcome Renae to the stage. So happy to have you.
Hi, how you doing?
Great. Well, and
Happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you. So much in your bio, and I am excited to dig deep into your story. So let's start off with your big chop because they say when someone chops off their hair, when a Black woman chops off their hair, they're ready for big changes and transformation. So tell us what that was like.
And so the thing about my big chop is that at that time, I had no idea that I was about to make some changes in my life. I just knew that I had developed some health issues as it relates to the chemicals I was putting in my hair to straighten it. And so I had to make a decision on whether I wanted to keep the appearance of straight hair or if I wanted to tackle my health issues. So I decided to do that. So when I big chopped, I literally thought that I was making a hair decision. I didn't find out later until later along the line that it was actually a life decision. So big chopping, I just didn't have the patience to, transition. People grow out their hair and they cut a little bit off at the time when they decide they want to go natural. My thing was that if you're going to do it, just do it. And so the big chop was the way for me.
That's amazing. And then the fact that you were able to take that story and create your own natural textured hair care line. Tell us about what that transition was like. And even though I know I get why you started it, tell us why you thought it was important to start it for not just yourself, but anyone with textured hair.
So I believe that a woman's self-esteem is directly connected to and related to her hair. And so often we will make decisions, we will make plans based on the state of our hair.
Mm-hmm.
If our hair is not looking good, we don't necessarily feel good about ourselves. So we don't want to go to brunch. We don't want to hang out, or we would do it if. And so I just think that if you can teach a woman to love her hair, and embrace her hair, then you can teach her how to love herself. And so there's a reason why it's called self-love, because you have to start with self. And if you're feeling insecure or unsure about your looks based on your hair, you're not going to feel good about anything else. So I think you have to start here with your hair. I started this brand because I felt like there were I knew there were other women who had made a decision to go natural and big chop or transition based on either medical needs or just for other circumstances. And they were probably feeling a little unsure and even unattractive in their journey at first, because I did. And I felt like they would need some support, because I thought that I needed some support. So I started the natural hair group, and within that group, it just grew um, to a place where I felt like I needed to represent for my community and develop something for us by us. And so that's how I decided to start CoCoBella Natural.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful mission. And when I first read your bio, I had to laugh to myself because I love how you coined yourself the accidental influencer. So please tell us, how did you fall into this role?
So, I mean, the accidental influence is because I never set out. I never intended to be an influencer, to reach as many people as I did, to have people see me as like a resident expert or anything. I literally wanted to do the things that I like to do, which is I like helping people. I like making people feel good. I like to inspire and encourage. And so I started a natural hair support group. That's where it started. And just within that group, I mean, it grew in the bonds and the relationships that I built. And so people started to say, even if it was non-hair related, like I could be wearing something like in a video, because I did videos, pre-recorded live. I did step-by-step tutorials on how to do your hair. And even with that, people were saying, where did you get that necklace from? Hey, what's that picture in the background? What did you get? And I was like, what is this? We're talking about hair. Why are you guys asking all these questions? And someone said, I heard the word influencer. And I said to my friend, I was like, I would like to be an influencer. And she said, girl, you're already an influencer. And I was like, I am. She was like, yeah, why do you think people don't own your every word? They want to know what you're doing. They want to know where you're going. They want to know what you're wearing. They want to know what products you're using for your hair. And so that is why I said accidental, because that was never my goal, to be someone that people, I mean, I wanted to inspire, obviously, but I didn't know the influencer as well as what an influencer is now. And so it was actually an accident.
And as you're speaking, I see myself in your story because I never thought of myself as an influencer up until
No.
recently, because I was like, oh wait, I do share a lot of like events with my group, and they ask me questions and they ask me things. I was like, oh, I guess I do fall into
And
this.
so you think that you're just being who you are, because I share. I share. If I find something on sale, if I find a good deal, I'm like, oh my God, guys, I saw these hats. We got to get these hats. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I just thought that I was just being who I am.
Mhm.
And I guess who I am was influencing people. And so that's why I say it was an accident.
Yeah, and the thing about that is you never know who's watching. And so when people come up to you, I'm sure like, "Oh, wow." And so, yeah, that it makes so much sense, and I guess it's the thing that we do as women, we tend to downplay what we do and our strengths and our reach. I think I just again, I love I'm gonna start using that, the accidental influence, and of
It
course, I'm
was an
gonna
accident.
trademark that, okay? So, of course, you mentioned in your bio that you are a solopreneur and you run this amazing, successful company. Please tell us, how do you prioritize your personal life and your business life?
So my personal life and my business, they're kind of married. But no, I do schedule. I have to schedule time for personal. I mean, because I like spending time with my friends, doing brunches or movies or whatever. But then I also have to run my business. So just like if you were to go to a 9 to 5 job and then you wanted to do things on the weekend, you just have to schedule it. So I make time where I'm all in. It's CoCoBella, nothing else. Tunnel vision. All I'm thinking about is this. And then there's time that I say, okay, I'm going to put this to the side because I've done everything that I can do today. Because I don't want to be so become so overwhelmed and so burnt out that it's no longer fun. So I just have to schedule it just like you would do on your planner. Sometimes people schedule their lunch breaks. They schedule when they're going to go get their nails done. They're going to schedule. So I schedule when I'm going to be making products, when I'm going to be doing packaging, when I'm going to shipping, when I'm going to be formulating. So I schedule all of that so that I can get everything that I need to done for the business. So when it's time for me to play, I can play because I work hard and then I want to play hard too sometimes.
I love that. This is great advice. And then the important thing you said is knowing the importance to take the breaks that we need to in that self-care, because if we do not, our body will shut down on us without a warning and we will be forced to take a break. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And then you spoke to scheduling. So that goes into habits. And a lot of us sometimes we don't have the habits. And I'm speaking about myself. I'm guilty sometimes about not having the habits in place that I need to make sure that I am productive and on a consistent basis. And I've learned to not guilt myself when I don't accomplish everything in a day, because I used to be really bad about that. So I've gotten to the place where I said, okay, if I can schedule and accomplish 1 to 3 things, or even if it's just one thing for the day, I'm happy. Sometimes that one thing just might be sleep.
Absolutely, because you can put like 5 things on your list. This is the way I see it. So I might wake up that morning or go to bed that night thinking I got 9 things to do. So you got to prioritize what, if nothing else happens, this has to happen. So that goes at number one. And then you start to prioritize it in that way. And once I get one of those things accomplished, I scratch that off and I feel accomplished. Like, whoo, I've gotten one thing. There's 8 more on my list. And so I do as much as I can without burning myself out. And what was most important, if I get 3 things done, like you said, then the 4 through 9, that go to the top of tomorrow's list. And then I reprioritize again. So you're right, because you could burn yourself out. So yeah, don't guilt yourself, because if you start to guilt yourself into feeling bad because you didn't get this, that, and the other thing done, it becomes burdensome when you got to be so stringent, and you don't want to do it anymore because now it's just hard. It's not fun. What I do is fun. For me, it might not be fun for someone else, but when I get in the lab and I start mixing stuff and, that's fun for me. And so I don't want it to become a burden, to become a task, become obligatory. I want to do it with all the joy that I have when I'm doing it anyway. And I want to keep that.
Very good point. Because when we go into business, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a 9 to 5, because I built my company off of a 9 to 5. But when we go into our business, we don't want it to be just another 9 to 5. We want the freedom and flexibility to call our own shots. And so it's very true. We don't want to burden ourselves and overwhelm ourselves to the point where we're not even enjoying why we got into business in the first place.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so I would love to learn, without sharing your trade secrets, of course. You mentioned about mixing in the lab. So tell us about that. I know that involves some chemistry and some other things. So tell us, like, what is that experience? Is it creative? How does that go?
So this is the thing, if I'm being honest, and most of the time I'm completely 100% honest. When I first launched my business, I had zero formulation skills, none. I knew ingredients because, in being that accidental hair influencer, I was always testing products and trying products and reading ingredients and all those things. So I knew about ingredients, but as to how much, aloe vera to put in this and how to mix it with that, I didn't know. I knew the benefits of ingredients and I knew ingredients. So I did seek out a cosmetic chemist at first because, like I said in the beginning, a woman's self-esteem is connected to her hair. God forbid I go in the kitchen and just mix some stuff up for you to put in your hair and it brings your hair out. Then I've not only scarred you, made you lose your hair, but now your self-esteem is diminished. And that's definitely not my goal. So I sought out a cosmetic chemist at first, and we reviewed things together. She helped me formulate a product. And so with all the times that I worked with her and went through, I just started to learn, because when something is interesting to you or when you have a path, you can learn it, even though you never had the desire before, you never had that skill set before. It becomes much easier because like it's fun. When I'm telling you, when I come up with the formulation, like, oh, if I put this aloe vera, if I put that babasu oil, if I put that, and then it'll get this, it's fun. So I didn't have it at first. It's acquired. It's I was educated on how to do it.
And you bring up a very good point. A lot of us will let our lack of experience or lack of knowledge in a certain area keep us from our passion. However, you said, this is not going to hold me back. I'm going to learn the ropes. And I always say, done is better than perfect. And so you perfected along the way. And I'm sure there's still some things that you are perfecting upon as new technology comes out or as new ingredients come out. So I'm glad that you alluded to that, because a lot of us let that fear of the unknown stop us from excelling.
I was that way because even before I decided to develop a product line, like my daughter had said, like maybe a year or so, Mom, you need to start your own, because I was influencing people and I was, product testing and promoting for other brands. And she's like, you need to come up with your own products. And my exact words were, girl, I ain't no DIY person. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I ain't got time for that. I'll just buy what I need. But the more I got involved and the deeper I got, I'm like, if I can influence my community to purchase from brands who they never heard of, they've never tried, but if I endorsed it, they was running out and buy it. I was like, if I can encourage them and inspire them to go to a whole brand they've never heard of, I could do that for us. They already trust me. They already rely on my advice and my opinions. I could do this, and I can't let fear stop me from doing it.
And that's why you're here today, because you are a successful entrepreneur who did it scared. You did it anyway. And so now you can share your story with others. So kudos to you for that. I feel like that deserves a hand clap.
Thank you.
So, of course, as a Black woman entrepreneur, there are obstacles that are often put in our way. And even though some people will say, no, it's all equal and equitable, in reality, it's not. Yes. Someone tried to argue with me on Facebook, and it was a Caucasian man saying income or access has no eyes or knowledge or perspective, but people do. And those people have the access. So my question to you is, what do you think Black women entrepreneurs, or even just women in color, minority women, what challenges do you think that we face, and how can we overcome it?
So I do think that, number one, as a woman, and especially as a woman of color, people don't really take us serious. They think that we're flighty. They think that, it's just a flyby. And they think it's a trend. They just think that it's a hobby. So they don't really take us serious. And so my thing is to show them. You might not believe me by me telling you, but I'm going to show you. So I don't allow the background noise, because to me, anyone who is telling me that I can't do this, I shouldn't do this, or whatever, that's just background noise. And so I'm a watch and see, because if you tell me I can't do something, if you tell me I shouldn't do it, you can rest assured that I'm gonna do it. Just because I gotta prove you wrong. And so I think that if we allow even like family members to get in our head and just to rob us, because people will tell you that you shouldn't do something or you can't do something, and that's because those people don't feel like they can, and that's not your story. You write your own story, you make your own path, you blaze your own trail. Get people out of your head. Opinions are okay, but no one knows you better than you. And if you're determined to do a thing, to make a thing happen, you're going to do it. And you need to get those people out of your ear.
Right. Because small minds can't see the big vision. And so
And it's
Some-
not their vision to see. It's
right.
not their, it's your vision. It was given to you. It was downloaded into you. It's not their vision to see. So yeah, they can't see how you're going to work a full-time job and make products. They can't see it, but it's not for them to see. Be a spectator, cheer for me when I'm doing well. But when you got something negative to say, I'm gonna need you to just sit back and just be quiet.
Stay in your lane if there's a lane over
That's
there
it.
for you. Yes. So going deeper into challenges, but taking it in a different perspective. Of course, as a woman entrepreneur in the textured beauty industry, hair care industry, there is sort of a different standard. So we of course had to pass the Crown Act in some states because our hair was not accepted. And there, even though I feel like it's starting to be less taboo, it's still hurdles to climb. So tell us, what do you think about the future of hair care in the textured black hair care area?
So I think that people are starting to take us serious. I think that although we've come a long way, I still think we have a long way to go because people just don't understand it. So when you don't understand something, then you criticize it because you just don't get it. Like I wouldn't be able to know what it felt like to be a billionaire and have a plane. So you don't know what it's like to be a woman of color with textured hair because you've never been a woman of color with textured hair. So for you to say that my hair, as it grows from my scalp, like God intended it to, for you to say that it's unruly, unprofessional, like who made you the person to create the standard? Because gone are those days where we, as Black women, women of color, allow society to tell us what the standard of beauty is. We are deciding for ourselves our own standard of beauty. And so you either get on board or you get off. And I think that it's getting better, but I don't think I still see too many cases where someone was discriminated against because their hair. And I still see a lot of women who, even in my community, I like to call them my tribe, who say, I'm going to this special function and I want to, how should I wear my hair? And I'm saying, girl, rock your fro. What do you mean? How to wear your hair? You wear your hair like you want to. Should I how should I get a updo or should I get a wig? No. I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not knocking that, but don't let what someone else is going to think about your hair dictate to you how to wear it. If you feel comfortable wearing your natural hair in whatever style, then do that. I have this saying that I say, rock it like you meant it. As long as you love it, the world, they'll adapt or they won't, but you'll still be who you are, rocking your hair like you want to. When I go to Christmas galas, I don't get a blowout and get my hair straightened. I twist it up, I wash it go, I throw it out, I do whatever I want to do because my hair does not dictate whether I'm in a professional environment or, whether it's unruly. Like I am who I am. So when I show up at a gala, I show up as myself. I'm classy with a fro. And that's just how I see it.
And that's the reason why brands such as yours are so important, to bring the awareness, to bring the education of how to properly take care of our textured hair, to be proud of it. So this is the perfect segue to do a shameless plug about your brand. And just tell us more about your brand and the products.
Okay, so for me, as it relates to naturally textured hair, I don't subscribe to the number and letter hair typing charts at all. I think it's trash. Just my opinion. I think that any hair could be healthy hair. And that's what good hair is. And so as it relates to naturally textured hair, we need a certain level of hydration for our hair to thrive, just like a plant, in the fall when the leaves turn brown, they crunch. The same thing with our hair. If we don't have enough hydration, if we don't have enough moisture in our hair, it becomes crinkly, crunchy, and it'll break off. And so that's why a lot of women don't want to go natural, because they don't want that. They want to grow their hair long, and they don't want, that hard, crunchy feeling. So CoCoBella Natural's answer to that is that all of the products that I develop are developed to infuse moisture into your hair, because if your hair doesn't need anything else, it needs water. So all my products are infused with moisture inducing ingredients like aloe vera and guar silk and lots of moisture inducing ingredients, because my goal is to, when your hair gets to a certain level of hydration, it begins to cooperate. Because people think that, oh, she was born with good hair. I hate that term, by the way. Good hair, bad hair. I hate that. But they think, oh, well, of course her hair's going to do that. She's got good hair, or she's mixed, or whatever. Doesn't matter. Your hair may not look exactly like mine, exactly like hers, but whatever hair you have, if you allow it to reach a sufficient amount of hydration, it will be incorporated. So my whole entire line is designed around creating and maintaining hydration, so that even in the winter time, when it's cold outside and typically your hair dries out, it doesn't become crunchy and it breaks off, and you can retain some length, because not everyone, a lot of women who steer away from going natural is because they're used to having long hair. And when you go natural, even if your hair is long, when it's styled, it's short. And they don't want that. The shrinkage is real. And so if you can get your hair, like I said, to a sufficient amount of hydration, and then you can get past the I've got to show my length. And that's another part of learning to love yourself from within, because who do you need to prove to that you got long hair? Who are you trying to prove that to? You need to feel good about it. And again, what other people think, that's just background noise. So yeah, my whole line is built around infusing moisture, creating hydration, so that you can get that healthy hair that will cooperate with those Bantu knots, with the twist styles, with the wash and go, with the slick back style, with whatever. And so you have healthy hair, because healthy hair grows. People think that, well, my hair keeps breaking off. Hair grows from the roots to the tips. Hair breaks from the tips up. If you keep your hair hydrated, even your tips, and you get an occasional trim or two so that your hair don't split in, then your hair will grow and you will retain your length. And so that's why all of my products, from the shampoo to the gel, it all has moisture inducing ingredients, because hydrated hair is healthy hair. And the more hydrated your hair becomes, the more your natural curl pattern reveals itself. Not mine, not hers, yours. So
I feel like I just had a TED Talk in hair care. That was phenomenal.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Because it's
so come to my hair talk.
Yes. Oh, you should start that. I will come and listen, because I'm just like, yeah. And then I was like, yeah, I do. I remember, of course, hearing about hydration, but then when you were talking about root to tip and tip to root, I was like, oh, that makes sense. No wonder, because I as you're talking, I was like, oh, that's why certain things work when I put that hair oil or that moisturizer on my hair. So wow. Yes, I will come to your other hair care TED Talks. So, what is next for you? I know you've accomplished so much already, but it could be personal or for the brand itself.
So as far as the brand is concerned, obviously I want to, even though I have shipped to every state, and I've shipped to 6 different countries. And so I want to expand my brand, hopefully like maybe in retail, but the hesitation about going into retail stores or going to a distributor's, because I am committed to continuing to use healthy, natural, um, botanical, organic ingredients. And sometimes I know when you go with a distributor, they want to cut costs because they're worried about bottom line. Not that I'm not trying to make a profit, because I am. That's why I'm in business also. But I refuse to compromise on my ingredients. I started this brand with quality, clean ingredients, and I intend to keep it that way, even if I have to continue to run it myself. Because I won't compromise on the quality of what I'm putting out to my community. So as far as the brand goes, I still have about 2 more products in my arsenal that will probably release, first quarter 2024. But as it relates to me personally, I am I'm community service oriented. I'm a person that likes to give back. I love to teach or educate, and obviously, hair is a passion of mine, but also self-esteem, teaching self-love. So it is my hope that eventually I'll get out on somebody's stage and talk about learning how to love yourself, and talking about how to not allow people to dictate to you how to feel about yourself. So talking to young girls and women who are stuck on allowing people to make them feel some type of way, because people can't make you feel any type of way unless you give them permission. So if you take that back from them, you determine who you are, how you feel, what you want to do, and you take your power back. So I want to do speaking engagements along those lines. So
And I'm claiming that for you. And for some reason, Essence Fest popped into my brain. I see you there. I don't know if that's a prophecy or whatever, because I don't typically have prophecies, but I'm claiming that for you too. I'm
I
excited.
receive it. I receive it.
So, as a woman entrepreneur, what advice would you have for someone who is looking to start their own business? Or maybe they're already in business, but they're not seeing the success that they want right now.
So first, a person needs to determine what success is to them. Because success might be, I netted $80,000 this year. That might be a success for somebody. For me, it might be, oh my goodness, I got an email that this person who was shy and, afraid to rock her hair is now saying, Miss Renae, like I wore my natural hair. That could be success for me. So you have to determine what success means to you. But I just think that you've gotta have a passion. If your only goal is to make money, although most businesses who go in business are for profit. And so I'm not dismissing the need to make money, because you got to make money to live. But if all you want to do is do something just to make money, and you don't have an attachment to it, you don't have a connection to it, then you may as well just go to a 9-to-5 job and just do what those people tell you to do, clock in, clock out, and go home, because sometimes you're not invested in a job. It's a paycheck. It's all you're looking for, a paycheck. Get a 9-to-5, go to work your schedule, do what the people tell you to do, clock out and go home. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's going to take blood, sweat, and tears. And you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves to get in there to get the job done. It's not as easy as just, applying for an LLC and getting a logo and setting up a website. There's a lot of work that goes into becoming a business owner. And it's not all pretty. It looks pretty when you go to the website, and you see people recognize who you are. It's not all pretty. And if you are weak, and I mean that in a way that not getting a sale one day is going to break you down emotionally, don't do this, because when you first start, or even when you're seasoned, there are some days that you're not gonna get a sale, and you're gonna think, oh my God, I failed. I should just close the doors. I'll just shut my website down. And if you're that person, if you're gonna cave that easily, then this ain't it for you, boo. This ain't it.
That's very real because, ooh, as you said, it is not pretty. Some days you'll be like looking at yourself like, why did my crazy self decide to do this?
You're thinking you're rethinking all your life decisions. Like, I did this on purpose. Like nobody made me do it. So there are those times, but that's okay, because that's life. Because with anything worth having is worth working for. You feel more accomplished. I feel more accomplished on a day where I don't get a sale. I feel more accomplished on those days than I did when I was working at a job that at the end of the day, I was exhausted physically and emotionally. But I did that all for somebody else. So when I'm emotionally drained or physically tired from working CoCoBella, I was working for myself. I'm not building someone else's dream. I'm building my own dream. And so I accept that exhaustion. And, maybe I don't get up that early the next stage. I just relax. But it's a much better feeling when you know that you're doing something for you. Because when you go to work at someone else's job, and not knocking 9-to-5 jobs either, because, sometimes we got to work 9-to-5 jobs. Right. But you're working to build someone owns that business, and you're working 12, 14 hours to help them build their business so that they can send their kids to college and send their kids to boarding schools and summer vacations and taking gap years off. And that's what you're doing for them. You do that same thing for yourself so you can build generational wealth for your family, so that your grandchildren or children can go to college or maybe take a gap year and go to Paris or whatever. So you're working hard for yourself to build your own dream.
Really, you just took the words right out of my mouth, because I was gonna say, oh wait, but she covered it. So just listen to that last part, because everything she said I echo very much, because I mean, it's very true. You are working on someone else's legacy and not your own. And so I want to leave the legacy for my future family and build that generational wealth, and also be a blessing to someone in the meantime who is working on their business. So
absolutely. So I like to pay it forward. However, I'm someone, I learned what I know. I'm not necessarily self-taught. I learned how to formulate from a cosmetic chemist. So she went to school for all of that. I did not. I learned it from her. So she paid it forward to me. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to help those that are coming up behind us and who have asked, not like you say, not giving away all your trade secrets, not saying, okay, I'm just going to write this down for you. You do this and you're going to make money off it. That's not it, because you've got to be committed to learn, because I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink it.
Oh, a whole word right there. Now, for those who want to keep up with you and learn about your new product releases at the beginning of 2024, how can they keep up with you, whether it's your website or social media or whatever information you want to share?
So my website is CoCoBellaNatural.com. It's CoCoBellanatural.com. So that's my website. On social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Pinterest, I am at CoCoBella 62 everywhere. So follow me. I follow back. Follow me on to find out what I'm doing, where we're going, new product releases, or if you just need some encouragement, some inspiration, like I do, thoughts of the day, so that I can just fill the world with love and joy.
Well, I will definitely be following because everybody needs some encouragement from time and time again.
Yes.
So, as we wrap up our Lady Mogul Talk segment today, are there any final words of advice you want to give our audience?
Um, I always like to say for anybody, but women especially, because we have so much on our shoulders. We're doing so much for everybody else. And we can say, self-care, self-care, and I believe in self-care. But also, I just like to say, nobody is you.
Mm,
And that's your superpower. Work with that.
I have absolutely nothing to add to that. That was great. Well, Renae, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you on Lady Mogul Talk today. I've learned some things about now. I'm like, I need to go to the other room and see what hair care products I have and see, okay, I need to probably replace with CoCoBella. Okay. But thank you so much for joining us. I hope that our audience has taken away gems such as much as I have.
It has been my pleasure, Avery. Thank you so much for having me. Put me in front of your audience. This has been nice.
Yeah, we should do an Instagram live.
We should. We
Okay,
should do
well,
that.
we'll
We should talk
talk
about
about
that.
yes. And this is what happens when women come together. Great things happen.
Have your people get in touch with my people.
Right. Give us a call. Well,
Yeah.
everyone, thank you so much for watching Lady Mogul Talk, and we'll see you in the next segment. Bye.
Bye.